Charging your electric car for free, is it possible or is it not? Yes, the simple answer is yes. And this is how I'm doing it. So let's just set the scene. I live in an apartment complex and there's no electric chargers. There's a business building next to me, which I can go over to, and they do have public chargers. Well, public, you're supposed to work there in order to use them, but they do cost $1 per hour and it goes up to $5 max, which obviously it's a great deal, but I do have the benefit of going to actual work and I actually have free charging from ChargePoint. Now it is really slow charging. It is 6.6 kilowatts per hour, and that can vary depending on if I'm the only one using the charger, or if someone is splitting the charger with me, then it goes down to 3 kilowatts per hour. So when you really think about it, it's free charging, but it's only 20 miles per hour at 6 kilowatts. But realistically, my thought process on this whole thing was that I'm driving 20 miles to work, I'm driving 20 miles back home, and then for the weekend, I would just charge to 100%, and that should last me the whole weekend because we're not going super far, we're not going on long trips that often, and when I did need to go on a long trip, I'm okay with using a Tesla supercharger. But my goal in all of this was, can I charge for free pretty much all the time? Yes. And it's been 2.5 weeks at this point with my new rear-wheel drive Tesla Model 3, and I have successfully charged for free for those 2.5 weeks. But I want to share with you the hiccups that I've had along this road of free charging. So one of the challenging things about charging at a free EV charge point location is the fact that usually there's between 2 stations to maybe 6 stations of slow chargers at these free locations. So when I get to work in the morning, all of the chargers could be taken up, all of them could be free. I have no idea. I can look at the app, it's not super accurate, but from my experience, I can get there in the morning, maybe one person is charging, I will plug in. The other issue with these free public chargers is that people don't really care if they park in the spot, and I've had both electric vehicles and gas vehicles sitting in a spot without using the stall for the appropriate use case. Now, when all of the charging stations are taken up, I can't be that mad, I can't be frustrated. It's there for a reason. It's kind of first come, first serve, and whenever someone frees up, hopefully you can get in and get your car charging. I do have to say, I'm lucky. I get to work really early in the morning at about 7 a.m. and I haven't had an issue with all chargers being filled. So that's a good thing. What's really frustrating is gas vehicles that sit in the spot and take hours and hours on end. They don't move. There's not really a good way to report them. You can report them through the app. I guess you could reach out to the town of the electric charging network, but what are they gonna do? Tow the car? Give them a ticket? I don't know. Maybe tickets are the answer for this type of thing. You let me know, what do you think about these gasoline vehicles parking in these electric vehicle spots for charging? My second frustration with the work charger that I have, there are 6 different stalls. Now, only 4 out of the 6 stalls actually charge, and there's a whole station that's actually just missing. It's gone, it's not there. They took it out and they haven't replaced it. So I have kind of made note in my brain of which stalls I can actually use and which ones that'll actually work. I recently put in a ticket for ChargePoint to come and hopefully fix one of these stalls, but I don't know how much trust I have in ChargePoint in actually coming through and fixing the stall, because it's been like that with comments in the app since 2020. So if you are looking into one of these free locations, just know they're probably going to be pretty slow to come and fix them. Number 3, the thing that really frustrates me is that depending on the charging station, Some of the connections of the charger into the adapter into my Tesla Model 3, they're kind of loose. So I'll plug it in, it'll say it's charging, I'll walk into work, it'll tell me, hey, this is loose, can you adjust it? And I am a physical therapist, I'm with patients all day, so I can't just run out and go check my vehicle. I have to wait until lunch break, and then my car hasn't charged. So just know that some of these connections are not going to be as good as just a true NACS connection into a Tesla supercharger, or maybe one that you have at home. I have found that certain charger stations are better than others, so when I get there, I try to find the station that I like, that I can use, that'll charge my car with no issues. And 9 times out of 10, this isn't a big issue. It charges, and sometimes it'll even say that the connection is loose, but then it'll fix itself on its own. So just another thing to think about if you are going this route of, hey, maybe I can charge at work for free. To conclude, I think it's really important to kind of look and see what your resources are. This is great right now with all the amazing deals on Teslas because they are super cheap. If you can get a loan that would pretty much cost the same as how much you would spend weekly, or well, I guess I should say monthly, in gas bills, then I think it's worth looking into, especially because you can get the $7,500 EV tax credit, so that'll bring the cost of the car down. And it's a pretty stress-free life of just charging at work when you're there for 8 hours anyways, and then coming home and you have no issues. I will definitely keep you updated on my experience with my Model 3 and trying to charge for as little money as I can throughout the year. My goal is to really only use Tesla superchargers when I am traveling somewhere that I need to use them. So do some research about the chargers that are near your house or near your work. Check the specific charging app to make sure that, all the chargers are working or most of them are working. Look in the comments to see what people are saying about the charging sites. They are pretty up to date. And the biggest thing is always have a backup plan. I have superchargers about 2 minutes from my apartment complex, so if I ever need them in a pinch, I can go use them. I do also have the business center that's next to me with the slow charging that costs a little bit of money. So always make sure that you do have that backup plan. And if you guys have any other tips or tricks about charging for free or getting cheaper prices with these charging apps, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know, and I would love if you could subscribe for more information on basically my experience with my new Tesla. All right, thank you so much for watching, and remember that adventure is always out there. Peace.